Alright, we're here with Wes. Another game, this time against Game Boy 93. I decided to focus on this instead of one of our sets because Game Boy is very similar to my playstyle, but like our train of thought is very similar. So I've figured we get a slightly different perspective looking at what the games between you and him instead of you and I. And plus, it gives you a little bit of room to exploit and analyze different patterns because you know how I play. You know, I like to sit back. Game Boy is kind of the opposite. So let's see. One neutral with the slightly better placed beam. All right, we're gonna back it up a little bit. Boo ball. We already talked about that. We talked about that. Don't forget, he ain't no online scrub. The Game Boy ain't no online scrub. He plays online, but he ain't. But as you know, he ain't no scrub. He ain't gonna fall for that shit. So don't even waste the assist. Yeah, so he just placed a slightly superior beam. Like I said, doing it all the way up here, it's not usually the best choice. But I will say against Game Boy, it is a slightly better choice because when he is in the air, he tends to be high up in the air. I'm not gonna talk about any Vegito gameplay. I'm not no Vegito expert, so I can't give you any tips on it. Now he does do a setup here. This is one of the most popular setups. He does this all the time. After the medium back throw, light throw to put him up in the air, covered by the beam as soon as he reaches the peak, backdash into two. Just like that, alright? Alright, we're going to go over how to counter that later, so don't worry too much about that. It is something that you have to look out for because you can clearly see he will two-touch you from that. He's done it to me a bunch of times. And Game Boy is a very momentum-based play. You give him any sort of momentum, he's going to run away with it. Especially since he plays characters like Vegito and Kid Buu who work in such a manner where you let them get that momentum, they will win. And I think well, let's put that the 5-finger shot. I think it was. A little bit more. Yeah, 5-finger shots. So no, 5-finger shots minus on block. Most moves in the air are minus on block, right? Especially any like key blast, like the air beam minus on block. Doesn't matter who it is. If you have any sort of special key move or beam move in the air, I'm pretty sure 100% of the time it's gonna be minus on block. So do be careful, especially at this height. Alright, you probably press the button just hella late. So please be very careful. Alright, does he do the same setup? No, he goes for a slightly different setup. Luckily this setup is a little bit easier to block than the other one. Because you do take the whole beam assist and it's much easier to see from this distance if he's gonna go for overhead or a 2M. Luckily we got it right this time. And it's something I actually just noticed he just started doing. Because every time I fight D-Ray, he finds some sort of new setup or new block string. And this time, he did it against all of us. I think it worked against all of us. Just 5L. Since it lasts so long, it kind of fucks with your mind a little bit. 5L, Kid Buu assist into overhead. Just like that. So even if you block it, you're still taking the Kid Buu assist, so automatically put into another mix. Now, in that situation, it's better to just train yourself to reflect overheads on sight. That would be the play right there. Okay, do be careful with that super dash. You know, you have a better range game than Vegito does, or at least full screen. He doesn't have access to a beam. You do. So like mid screen, Vegito probably has the edge because of his kicks and his key blast into kicks, and his sword and his 5L. Yeah, Vegito sucks. But full screen, you have the definite advantage with that beam. All right. So there's no reason to super dash here. You want to keep him right here. You want to keep him at this full screen. You don't want him to get right here. The moment he gets right here, he can do the forward key blast into EX kicks, or forward key blast into beam assist. And the next thing you know, he's inside, and you're taking a Kid Buu mix. Alright, so just be patient and realize the difference between your two characters. Vegito has good neutral, but not from full screen. He has good neutral from 3/4 to mid screen, primarily mid screen, not so much 3/4. So there's no reason to take that unnecessary risk, especially since he won't move forward until he puts out that beam assist. All right, so make that adaptation. That you know that he's going to like, all right, his beam assist is down, he's not going to move forward. Now would be my time to press forward if I really wanted to press forward. Nice. Game Boy has a tendency to try to challenge Vanish a lot for some reason. I don't know where he got that very brave idea from. Whew. Nice spark to keep you alive and beautiful 2H. Nice read on the tag. Alright, now boom. We're going to talk about not really Vegito gameplay, more what he can do in terms of positioning. So you got a beautiful 2H. You can do the basic B and B. What I don't agree with was this move right here. You went from the sword into the throw. You could do sword into the sassy kicks, and then vanish, and then medium throw, so keep him in the corner. You want to keep people in the corner. That's what makes Vegito so good, that he always has a way of putting you directly into the corner. So you gave up screen positioning and potential Oki and pressure to not spin the ball, even though you're playing Vegito, who has like second and third highest meter gain in the entire game. Ooh, some would say the highest solo. Yeah, he does have the highest solo. Yeah, roll level 3 to punish the tag. Nice. If you also notice, this is one way he likes to end games. If you notice, Dragon Rush will do about 2,000 damage by itself. A little less, to make 1,500 or so with this little indicator here. It'll do like right around this much worth of damage. Well, with the full combo, it'll do just about 2k, a little bit more, maybe 3k. But one thing he does, especially as people love the up-tech in this game, he'll always jump Dragon Rush. He will try to finish a game like that like 8 times out of 10. Now, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I don't know if he actually hit you with it in this set, but it's just something that you need to keep in mind, that him as a player, this is what he does. Because if I train with them, if you want to slide in, you're gonna have to train on with them too. So knowing what people do in certain situations, and more importantly, how they like to close out games, can help you land that comeback. Could have challenged that a little bit sooner, or just straight up reflect. Just because you're playing Vegito doesn't mean, I told D-Ray this all the time too, so don't worry. Just because you're playing Vegito don't mean you gotta press 5L all the goddamn time. Reflect is much faster. It's not always as safe, but it's usually a better call, especially in staggers. And in a situation like that, since he loves to do 5L into overhead into the kid boosters, which I think he did that again. No, okay, that was a full on block. But don't forget, reflect will be the better option for that situation. All right. So you don't, just when you're playing Vegito, don't mean you gotta press 5L. You can always just 6M, especially since he loves to do that particular setup of the overhead into kid boost. So one thing to keep in note is he likes to air Dragon Rush at the end of the round to try to finish you off, and 2, he likes to overhead into kid boosters, because most people don't have the reactions. They have the reactions to block it, but they don't think about reflecting it to get out of it, or vanish at least. They don't think about that. They just think of block. The next thing you know, they're still caught up in pressure. Since it's an overhead, it also resets the assist timer. So keep that in mind as we move on into game number 2.